In the heart of Enugu City stood a fast-rising church called Heavenly Fire Ministry. The church was led by a man of God called Pastor Chigazi Noji, a 42-year-old, tall, soft-spoken man who always dressed in white robes and claimed to hear directly from God. People traveled from different parts of the country to see him, to be healed, to be delivered, or to receive prophecy. Every Sunday, the church was filled with worshippers. Testimonies flowed like a river, miracle babies, instant healings, job offers, visa approvals. Pastor Chigazi had it all: fame, money, luxury cars, and multiple buildings across the state. But behind that holy appearance was a dark secret. The secret behind the altar. What people didn't know was that Pastor Chigazi's miracles and wealth didn't come from heaven, they came from blood. Late at night, when the city slept, the pastor would remove his robe and enter into a secret room hidden behind his altar. Inside the room was a shrine, a dark place with human skulls, blood-stained walls, and charms. For years, he had been selling human body parts to ritualists, politicians, and native doctors across Nigeria. He had partners, his church security man, a local mortuary attendant, and even 2 nurses from a nearby hospital. Most of his victims were church members. He would target the vulnerable, the sick, the jobless, orphans, and poor widows. After a fake prophecy, he would ask them to come for special night prayers. Some never returned. Their families were told, the Lord took them home. But in reality, their bodies were cut into pieces and sold. The betrayal. Chigazi had a young assistant pastor named Brother Kenneth, a lawyer and God-fearing man who looked up to him as a spiritual father. Kenneth believed every word Pastor Chigazi said, until the day he saw something that changed his life forever. One night, Kenneth forgot his Bible in the church and returned to pick it. As he stepped in quietly, he heard strange whispers and chants coming from the altar room. He hid behind the pulpit and watched as Pastor Chigazi and 2 strange men dragged the lifeless body into the hidden room. Kenneth's heart raced. He wanted to shout, but fear held his throat. He ran home, unable to sleep. The next day, he confronted the pastor. But Chigazi looked at him coldly and said, "Touch me, and you will disappear." Kenneth knew he had to do something. But who would believe him? The whole city worshipped the man. The truth unfolds. Quietly, Kenneth went to the police and told them everything. At first, they laughed it off. But when he gave them the names of missing members and the secret room location, they began to investigate secretly. One night, police surrounded the church during a so-called deliverance night. Inside, they caught Pastor Chigazi in the act, drenched in blood, holding a human heart, surrounded by human bones and fresh corpses. It was like a horror movie. The congregation screamed and ran. Some fainted. Some cried, unable to believe that the man who prayed for them every Sunday was a monster. The arrest and revelation. Pastor Chigazi was arrested and dragged in chains. During interrogation, he confessed to everything. He told the police how he started with a native doctor in Ebonyi who promised him riches and miracles if he would feed the gods with human parts. He said the power made people love him, made money flow, and filled his church. He mentioned governors, business tycoons, and even other pastors who bought body parts from him. The news spread like wildfire. Enugu was in shock. The pain and regret. Families who lost loved ones wept bitterly. One woman collapsed after finding out that her missing daughter had been used for money rituals. A man went mad on hearing his only son was among the victims. Church members burned the church building in anger and frustration. All the expensive cars and properties were seized by the government. Other pastors who were secretly involved fled the city. Brother Kenneth received threats, but he stood his ground. He became a hero, but he never smiled again. The things he saw left a scar in his soul. The end. Pastor Chigazi was sentenced to life in prison. In court, he looked pale and broken. When asked for his final words, he said, "I was hungry for power. I wanted to be more than just a pastor. Now, I have destroyed lives, and my soul is already in hell. May God have mercy on me." And that was how Enugu was freed from the hands of a false shepherd. But the wounds he left behind may never heal. Moral of the story. Not all who wear white are pure. Some altars bleed in silence. Shine your eyes. Test every spirit.